Hello and welcome back to ManVFilm. This is another Blu-ray update. I have 6 titles to show you from some recent pickups. I've got 4 from Indicator, which is the March bundle of titles that they've released, and I have got 2 movies from 88 Films Italian collection, one that I'm slowly starting to pick up. I think I'm only short of 6 titles now, so eventually that's going to come good, hopefully. So let's start off with some movies that I've picked up. So recently, I got the Indicator ones in last Thursday. First up is Things Change. Now, this is a David Mamet written movie. There is a wonderful extra on this disc talking to him as he's lazing back in his office, feet up, just chit-chatting away. I quite like listening to him talk. I like his dialogue in his movies. I thought Things Change was a wonderful movie. And if you're curious about my thoughts on the movie, I did a review earlier on today that you can just jump on and check out, and hopefully it might spark a little bit of interest in checking this one out. Next up, we have Crimewave from Sam Raimi, written by the Coen brothers and Sam Raimi. This Looney Tunes cartoon is another one that I've already reviewed because I got these movies in, instantly watched them and started talking about them. Crimewave, I like the look of it. I really appreciate the filmmaking. I think Sam Raimi does wonderful stuff in bringing Looney Tunes to life, really, in this kind of movie. I just don't think it wholly works. It doesn't really connect with me. I wish it did, but it just doesn't get there. From the Italian collection, we have got Beyond the Darkness by Joe D'Amato. This is all about a deranged person. Aren't all his movies, who has inherited a household. He's got a sort of person, a maid that looks after the house for him, a kind of matriarchal figure. He is a little bit psychotic, or definitely on that path. His girlfriend dies in hospital. He decides to bring the body back to his house. He's a taxidermist. He starts to preserve the body and keep it as his doll. People stumble into the house and have to die in horrible manners. The main protagonists or antagonists, depending how you look at it, are all really horrible people. It's full of blood, guts, gore, and people with lots of sexual repression and psychological issues. Kind of liked it. One of Joe D'Amato's better movies, I think, and one that I was kind of happy to finally get and see, because I think this is one of the ones that's ready to go out of print. Next up, I fancied a spaghetti western, so when I was picking up Beyond the Darkness, I bought Navajo Joe, starring an impossibly young Burt Reynolds as an Indian who is out for vengeance against a gang of criminals, who ends up having to work with a township to protect them and their wealth from said criminals as well. It's directed by Sergio Corbucci. Lots of people die in this one, whether it's by knife, beat to death, gunshot, dynamite. It's all kinds of that. Burt Reynolds is really great in the role. I just was really surprised by his performance, and it really gave it a lot of gravitas. And it's just a kind of silly throwaway movie, really kind of entertaining. Special mention to the extra on this disc, which is In the Know About Navajo Joe by Eric Zaldivar. Wonderful extra, really fun, tongue-in-cheek, nothing serious about it, but just a really just delightful, informative, and funny extra on the disc. Next up is one that I haven't watched, but I'm just about to go and watch, from 1930, directed by Howard Hawks. It is Criminal Code, starring Walter Houston. I don't know anything about it. It's got a wonderful cover here. I'm going to go and throw it on in a minute and cross that one off the list. And now, the last movie that I picked up, and an absolute stunner of a movie, and one that I could possibly see being my favourite first time watch of the month, and that is 20th Century, starring John Barrymore and Carole Lombard. This was an incredibly just involving movie, hilarious, full of drama, full of conceit, full of deceit, and just fun moments as we watch these two characters connect and then just bicker and battle all the way through the movie. It's so wonderfully delivered, so wonderfully performed and directed, full of all these secondary characters that really enrich the full movie. 20th Century is an absolute knockout of a movie. One that from the cover you could never guess what the film is about, and it is delightful. An absolute treat. One of those movies that you put on, it just ticks every box that you wanted to be ticked. It delivers that blind buy, real kick of finding something super wonderful that you might never have gotten to if it wasn't for being put out and highlighted by Indicator. Oh, fantastic movie. So there we have it. 6 movies that I've picked up, 5 that I've watched and 1 that I'm about to. I would love to know your thoughts on any of these titles if you've seen them. Let me know in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on ManVFilm.